We are still in Sri Lankan art history. Uh, last time we talked about 43 group, the artists who were the pioneers of Sri Lankan art, modern art actually. Um, and other art forms also, not just visual arts, painting. I told you that other art forms also rised up after the colonial period because of the scholars who went abroad and had a proper education. Um, so uh, from from 40s, the 60s and 70s up to 80s was like kind of the golden era of Sri Lankan art and design, and it gradually declined after 80s. When it comes to 90s, they started declining uh, all the art forms. Not in visual arts, like because there are individual artists who work on, but art such as uh, film, collective art that need a huge crew to work on. That type of art, and for films that you need an audience as well. That type of art forms started declining. Maybe the reason is the rise of television, um, and the rules and regulations were less in those times, because for the television and radio, previously they had a licensing system. Like, to have a radio and a television, you need to have a license. So we are paying for that license uh, to get that service. So and nowadays anyone can do art, and anyone can publish their art without a screening process. Uh, through the media is kind of open to any person. So this the essence of art uh, was kind of declining and diluting. Uh, uh, so the other thing I wanted to tell you was, I know that you guys are always kind of discriminated, like those late 90s kids, that they don't know art. But the thing is that all Sri Lankan art and design um, culture, the movement was declining. So, but the 90s, late 90s and 2000s, uh, the kids, they are exposed to a different kind of um, uh, a society culture, that you are more socially active people. So the thing is that still the 80s uh, and not actually 70s now, but the 80s people, now they are in their mid 30s in age. So they are kind of the workforce, and now the the people who earn money uh, in the country, in the world. So you have to know how to cater to this generation. So so you have kind of a huge generation gap from those who were born in a different era. It was actually a different era. So with the knowledge and exposure you get from this era, you need to respond to them. At least since they are in 30s now. So at least the next 20 years. So your job will be uh, definitely associated with uh, those older people. So they would be the customers in anything. They would be the clients, and uh, and again your generation. So this generation gap you need to be understood. Uh, so this will help you a little if you want to search on. Please ask me any questions and anything you want to know more. And if I'm not aware, I will search for you, and I will give you the links and all, the books and everything. So we talked about visual arts today. I have a few more areas. The one other thing that rised up was architecture. Have you heard of the architect Jeffrey Barber? He's the most famous. People are still connecting, right? Mm. Um, Jeffrey Barber was the most influential architect uh, in Sri Lanka. He's from that generation. He started to work in 40s, 1948, I guess. Uh, that that high class educated in abroad. Uh, he is one of them. Later on, he moved to Sri Lanka, and he worked with his brother Davis Baba, who was a landscape architect. Um, and Jeffrey Baba was the pioneer in architecture. Uh, have you heard of him? Any design you know by Jeffrey Baba? Have you heard of him? Anybody?
Kandalama Hotel?
Yes, Kandalama. Hotel was designed by Jeffrey Baba. And he was the person who, okay, I will tell you the pictures. Do you know this place? You know, exactly, yeah. Do you know this?
Parliament Princess.
Yes. Did you know that this was designed by Jeff? One of the major project he did, and
Madam, we can't hear you.
can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay, I lost my internet connection. Uh, yes. And there were few he was working with the interior designers, landscape architects, um, and painters, photographers. He were working with other artists as well. Uh, so this was in 80s. Like I think it's opened in 1982 by President Prem. Uh, this is the Parliament building landscape. This is Kandalama Hotel in Kandalama, close to Sigiri. It is known as one of the best green hotels in South Asia and even in the world. And Jeffrey Bawa uh, was the pioneer architect for the concept called tropical modernism. Like, uh, can you get the idea of that word, tropical and modern? Uh, just bringing the nature into the building space, like the tropical weather and all, into the living space. That was about tropical modernism in a very modern way. This is his own house in Dunuganga, Dentara. Sorry. This is also Dunuganga, Jeffrey Bawa's house. This is his one of his house in Colombo, number 11. It's also a hotel. Can you see all those courtyards? And he was inspired by Sri Lankan vernacular architecture. Vernacular architecture means the architecture that is done by normal people, like our historical stuff. Uh, the temples, roof structures from the temples, uh, the interior, the doors and windows. Those were inspired by Sri Lankan vernacular architecture, and he gave it a modern twist with the simplicity. Uh, this is another house designed by him for Ina de Silva. Uh, we will discuss about her as well. She is one of the designer who worked with Jeffrey Baba for the interior stuff. She was the pioneer artist in batik craft who made the batik craft, who made the revival of batik in Sri Lanka, right? Pune University is another design by Jeffrey Baba. He has designed a lot. Okay. She's the one I told you about, Ina de Silva. This was like the 43 group artists. this architecture and interior group was another kind of wave in 60s. Uh, so that 43 group was earlier than that, and they were kind of very influential and rebellious kind of people. This was not like that. This was a small group, but these people were also very influential in Sri Lankan design actually. Can you see with her pictures that what kind of a person she was? Wearing all the batik, mm, the jewelry, very fond of Sri Lankan crafts. So this woman, Ina Di Silva, uh, she is from Matale, Aluvihare, and one of the very renowned family. And she lived in Colombo, and she started to work with artisans from villages, from Matale and other villages, and started selling those crafts in Colombo at her place. Uh, so the previous one, this is her house. This was in Colombo, and recently they dismantled this house. So they rebuilt the house in Bentara, Ganga, as the architecture was very unique and yes, important one. So as a celebration, they moved that actually, rebuilt the house at Lumkanga. Now it's functioning as a hotel. Uh, and, she was the pioneer of the revival of embroidery craft, batik, and she worked with women, villagers to get this craft industries into a commercial level. So all these selling crafts idea uh, was initiated by her. Uh, you may have seen that there's a small elephant key tag in Laksala, a wooden elephant key tag with painted decorations. The original design was done by Ina Di Silva, and bringing out this elephant motif as a Sri Lankan icon was actually initiated by Ina Di Silva. See, this is her living room. So you get the idea what kind of person she was. Uh, collecting all these antiques and artifacts. And this is a batik designed by her, done by her in a place, Jeffrey Bawa house. And this is a batik ceiling. The place is Penthata Beach Hotel. In the lobby, the ceiling is done with batik panels. Designed by the architecture was designed by Jeffrey Bawa, and Ina Di Silva did this ceiling. Can you imagine doing so much of batik? It was renovated recently, last year. This place of Bentham Beach Hotel was renovated. I think this right side picture is the new one, and this is the original, I guess. The colors. This is kind of faded, right? So this is a very beautiful place with all those fabric panels on the ceiling. So likewise, her design was that innovative. Who think of having a ceiling, a fabric ceiling? See, this person is another one from that group community. She is Barbara Sansoni, and she was a artist actually, and she was very fond of colors. She was the artist who brought out bright colors into Sri Lankan art and craft. Uh, she saw Sri Lanka as a very colorful country. Uh, so her home is in Colombo. Uh, you may have seen the barefoot gallery, the barefoot shop. Have you seen it? I have a slide of that. Let me show you. Have you seen this place, barefoot, in Kollupiti? So she worked with handloom, uh, textiles, and she was uh, very fond of colors and uh, yes, an artist, a colorist, painter, and also her uh, house was designed by Jeffrey Power, and her son Dominic Sansoni is also sorry working with Jeffrey Power. He's a photographer, and look at her painting, so different, right? And she was one of those Sri Lankan architecture, like old walls and those buildings, temples, the drawings. It's a very, she had a very colorful attitude. And now her home is turning to a craft shop, barefoot in Colombo. One of the most influential places for textile crafts in Sri Lanka. The handloom they have is very, very colorful. And all the Sri Lankan and all the products they are selling is related to Sri Lankan heritage. And they have a cafe and a gallery. So next we'll move on to movies. Uh, so that was about the architecture. What you call the rise of architecture, the influence in Sri Lanka. It was in the peak was in 60s to 70s. So about film industry also, another art form. that we can discuss. Have you watched the song? Did you the songs I sent you? Could you all watch them? Hands up who those who couldn't watch. Everybody, most of all, you could watch it, right? Okay. Have you noticed the studio in studio recordings I discussed last time? What is the song that was recorded in a studio? Anyone could identify it? එක සිංදුවක් තිබුණේ නේ.
That run one Caroline.
Yes, yes. That was funny, right? uh, yeah, that was recorded in a studio. Now, can you recognize them? That the movies were like that, and most of the early 40s and 50s, late 40s and early 50s, the movies were recorded in studios, and some of the directors, most of the directors were Indians, and those the movies were recorded in Indian studios in India. Uh, so that was the old set were designed and they play in front of the sets, and some clips from outside were uh, merged with those the clips from studio recordings. The movie Rekava was the first movie that totally recorded in outdoors. So it was a kind of a turning point in Sri Lankan film history, uh, and even the audio, the voice, the sounds also were recorded outside. So it is a turning point in Sri Lanka cinema. That's the change period. Did you listen to those music and videos that I think you are familiar with those songs? Maybe you have not watched the original pictures. There are a few songs, right? What are the songs? Olinelum Neriya and Vesak Kekulu, Sudu Sunday, and those choreographers also like that. So anything you can comment on that? Those what did you feel when watching those songs from Rekal? What can you comment on them? What did you notice? Anything you notice from them? Anything you feel? Okay, who's next? Okay, Deshani. Deshani, no.
Yes, madam.
Okay, Deshani. මොනවාද බලන්න පුළුවන් වුණාද මේ වීඩියෝස් ටික?
No, madam. I watch little bit, but data problem is there.
Okay. Okay. Then you can watch them later. And
Okay, madam. Sure.
okay. Sorry, I was late to post those links. Sandali, could you watch it?
Yes, madam.
Okay, Sandali, මොකද හිතුනේ බලපුවා? රේඛා සින්දු. කලින් බලලා තිබුණාද?
No, madam.
Okay. What did you feel when compared to the commercial films nowadays? What did you feel? මොනවද හොඳයිද ඒක? Anything? Okay, no idea.
Not colorful. Only black and white film.
Yes, but even though it's only black and white, did you notice that they have played with the prints of the costumes to make it look nice? Black and white උනාට ෆිල්ම් එක මේ ඇඳුම් වල prints එහෙම ඒගොල්ලෝ ඒක මේ patterns වලින් fill කරගෙන තියෙනවා මේ the frame. Picture is interesting to watch, right? Did you find it interesting at least? Anybody of you? Nobody found it interesting.
Yes, madam. It's interesting.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes, Shani, do you have any comments on that?
It's beautiful, the village life. And even though it's black and white, I think it is a somewhat quality film.
Yeah. What can you tell about the composition and the choreograph? That dance in Sudhu Sandai. Yes.
It's good.
They were nicely choreographed, right? The composition, even with the choreographs, when those girls are dancing, it's nicely choreographed. When compared to the dance we are seeing today, right? Yes. And even this frame can see it's nicely composed. The one we see in the screen. All right. Okay. So it was 1956. Rekha movie. And but I have to tell you that in 1956, this one was very praised and appreciated by the film critics. But this didn't succeeded in the theaters. It was a failed film in terms of box office. So the audience didn't like this much because the Indian cinema with those songs, those love stories, that was the popular cinema in that time. So the change was not appraised by the audience at first. And the next thing, again, Lester James Paris, 1964, Comparative. Do you know why this is a turning point? This is another turning point in Sri Lankan cinema. This one was the first movie which didn't have any songs. Previously, every movie, people go to watch them for songs. This one is the first Sinhala movie without songs comparatively. And this one, Tummahandiya, again 1964, a different director, Mahaganasekara. He was an artist. He wrote the book as well, Tummahandiya. He was a poet, artist, writer, Mahaganasekara, and he directed this film in 1964, and it is considered as one of the movies that depicts common Sri Lankan village life. Right. There is only one song by Amaradeva in this movie. Atita in Gangalabasi කියලා scenes of තියෙනවා. I wanted to share the link, but the video quality was very low, so I didn't share it with you. Check it if you like. And then 70s. 70s, when it comes to 70s, there were two kind of films. The commercial, popular, this pop culture, and the aesthetic, artistic films. Both were there. In artistic films, one is Dharmasena Patiraja. There are few directors, and there was another one called C.D. Gunasinghe, and Lester James Pieris, and her wife and his wife Sumitra Pieris. Those were the pioneers in artistic films, and the commercial pop culture films were also there with all the pop songs and the dance and all. I sent you the link of that Niva Degi Jivite song. That type of films were also there. And those Gamini Fonseca, Vijay Kumar Tunga and all were the very popular artists. So this was in 78. Bambaru by Dharmasena Patiraja, and this is very famous for the music by Master Kemadas. And another director was Sumitra Pires, and she was focused on more female characters in stories like 80 Gangadhar and 78 Kehanu Lamai. Kehanu Lamai is the most famous story among you. Ask from your parents, they may have read it, this book. Any of you have read that? By Karunasena Jayala? Anyone?
No, madam.
No. Okay. This is a turning point in Sri Lankan novels also. This it's kind of a very soothing language, and yes, you have to read it to understand what it was. So it is just very simple romantic story, but in a very sensitive manner. Read his books if you are there, or just to check. Read this, and Tumbang Handi also. You should read it, that right? Anyone who has read Tumbang Handi කියලා තියෙන කවුරුහරි ඉන්නවද? Anybody who's reading any books? Who likes to read? None?
Madam, I read books but not Sinhala books.
Okay. You have read nothing in Sinhala? Okay. I mean to respond to the word. This is my personal opinion, right? To respond to the word, you have to know what we have inside us. What we have here. That is actually the global trend as well. To express your roots. Okay, I will show you some designers, artists on that as well. Even the artists we discussed, like even what we discussed just now, Jeffrey Baba, Ina De Silva, and Barbara Sansoni. The designs by Jeffrey Baba is this concept, tropical modernism, is a world-known concept, and architects in world respects me on this particular designs. So what is behind that? It's Sri Lankan essence, that the identity of this country. So this is not the nationalism like we normally appraised, right? But we think it's not the lion in the flag. So that nationalist movement is actually it's kind of racism, right? Not nationalism. That nationalism is digging out where our roots are, right? So to innovate things, you have to dig out where our roots are. So that's the identity we have to carry out. All those famous, not even Sri Lankan, the culturally advanced countries like the artists from Japan, China, they are bringing out Africa. They are bringing out their own identities into their designs. So I think that's what we also should do if you want to open up to the world. So Mitra Piris, yes, it was in the 80s. So I just added some movies that was this was in Wikipedia. That 97 government committee has named these as the best 10 films of the 50 years of Sri Lankan cinema, 47 to 97. So check these if you have time, what this is about. And Idan is one of the renowned movie, and the music is preserved as one of the most original music composition by Master Kemadasa. Okay. Okay, I will. If that's all for today, I will share you the presentation. Check them out if you have when you have time. When you have free time, check them out and try to read the books as well. Right? The at least the most renowned books that all the people are talking about. At least read them. Tummakashi is a very small book. I think it's just 300 rupees or something. Very, very small book with about 150 pages. You can read it. Okay. Now, then about the mood boards, shall we move on to some of you have done the mood boards, right? I didn't ask you to do the mood boards for today, but it's okay if you have done. I will show you some pictures that was it Rikasa who was confused on the two types of mood boards. Let me show you a few examples, then you will understand. I told you that I need you to do two mood boards. First one is about the concept actually. You can pick to create specifically a mood. You can create you can select very few pictures and adding kind of textures or one or two keywords. Better if you are not using keywords, any keywords, but if you need, you can add two keywords, one or two, and so it is about the mood, right? The next one, I will show you few examples. This only this part of this is 2-page thing, right? You get only this half, right? This tells a story. With the fashion mood board, you can see the decorations, and I want you to put the color in the mood board as well. Like with the mood board, need to see the colors as well, like this one. It can be one picture like this as well. It's just only two figures, the textures, color, style. Like this one, the color is there. This is not necessary, right? This part is not nice. This all logo thing. If you remove it, you can it's just 3, 4, 5 pictures. If you are using more than 4 pictures, the select one or two from them as textures, not with less detail, right? Not with full of figures and all. See this one? Only 3 pictures are the colors. Everything is expressed. I want you to do the color palette as well, right? Like this. Can be something like this. Or this. Not too many pictures, right? Few like this. So that's the first mood board. And the next one, I want you to just this one, not without, not with the colors, right? I don't need to see colors in this one. Like this. Uh, a set of images which tells the whole story, what the products would be, uh, not one by one, but disconnecting continuously. So the next thing is like this one with set of images that interpret your idea. Second mood board, I want something like this. So it not just the mood, but still it gives the mood while presenting the more details about the brand or the collection, the concept, or whatever it is. So this one, a lot of images composed nicely. I will share the images with you, these images with you, then you can again go through them and get the idea. Look at how they are aligned and composed, right? Are we all clear about what we have to do? And one thing, I thought that this would be more easy if you do it individually. What do you think? Since you have collected all the images as a group, use those images and do this individually. What do you think about that? Because I think it is not easy to do this in a group, right? Probably then only one person would make it. You will get enough time since we have when is your last day? We have just 2 weeks, right?
මැඩම්
Oh, Deepika,
මේ මෝඩ් බෝඩ් එක මේ එකක් අර අපිට දීලා තියෙන ටොපික් එකට අදාළව අනිත් එක අපිට කැමති මේ මාතෘකාවක් යටතේද?
නැහැ මම කිව්වේ එකක් අර මේ වගේ ගොඩාක් ඉමේජස් දාන්නේ නැතුව. ඒ කියන්නේ එකක් මේ වගේ mood එක විතරක් පෙන්වන්න. එක image එකකින් හරි ඒ කියන්නේ this composition of few images. මේ වගේ is it confusing to you? මේකේ mood එකක් විතරයිනේ දෙන්නේ පාට කොහොමද? එකක් color palette එකක් කියලා හිතන්නකෝ.
හා
එතකොට මේකෙන් පාට මේ colors මොනවද එන්නේ මොන වගේ mood එකක්ද කියන එක විතරයි මේකෙන් describe වෙන්නේ. මේකෙන් එහෙම එකක් විතරයි describe වෙන්නේ. ඊළඟට මේකේදී අපි ගන්න products මොන වගේද කියලා images ගොඩාක් compose කරනවා අපි. තේරුණාද? නෑ.
ඔව් මැඩම්.
මේකෙන් products මොන වගේද දැන් අපි ගත්තනේ මේ ඔයාගේ එක මොකද්ද මේ homemade food නේද?
ඔව් මැඩම්.
එතකොට දැන් ඔයාලට food pictures හදන ඒවාද experience එක කොහොමද ඒක හදද්දී අපි ඒ වගේ කියන්නේ what we are selling ඒ කියන්නේ ඒකේ background story එකත් අපි sell කරනවානේ. එතකොට ඒ experience එක කොහොමද ingredients මොනවද අපි package කරන්නේ deliver කරන්නේ ඒ වගේ ඔක්කොම නිකන් mix up වෙච්ච the whole idea about the brand will give from this. පළවෙනි එකට අපිට නිකන් color palette එකක් එක්ක නිකන් එක feeling එකක් විතරක් දෙන්න it can be one image.
හා මැඩම්.
හරිද? පැහැදිලිද?
හා.
තව කාට හරි පැහැදිලි
ඔව්
නැද්ද?
මැඩම්.
Yes.
එතකොට අපි තනි තනියෙන් නේද මේ දෙකම කරන්න ඕන?
Is it too difficult to do two mood boards for one person? Then we can you can divide in groups and decide who are doing the first color palette mood board with the color palette and who are doing experience mood board.
Okay,
It
madam.
is to because of the time. How many of you are in the groups?
7.
7. Okay, 3 can do in every group if there are 7. 3 can do concept boards with color palette, and other 4 can do that the other mood board, presentation mood board.
Okay,
It's
madam.
easier, right? Otherwise, you can't do 2.
Okay, madam. Where did you send the mood board?
These ones.
Yes, madam.
I didn't send it still. I will send it. I will send to the WhatsApp group and to the Google Classroom both.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Okay. ඔගොල්ලෝ කරපු ඒවා මොනවා හරි මට පෙන්වන්න තියනවද දිල්ෂානි?
Yes, madam. In our group, we did the first one.
Okay. Can we see?
Sure, madam.
Okay. This is about indoor planting, right? It's good as a mood board. Really good. You can think of a way composing these colors in a better way. I think it could be better in the bottom line. Here, you can see right the bottom line. Sorry. Yeah, it's good as a mood board. but I'm not sure whether you can process this idea further, this Gothic mood. Do you have any other images on this?
Yes, madam.
Then it's good. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, even the theme is nice. Is this a group work or you did this individual? You did this alone? Is this your work or?
Yes, madam, I did this.
Yeah, right. Because that's why you can comment among yourselves, but it's not easy to develop one idea as a group. So it's good if you do it alone, right? And get the comments from the group, right? This is beautiful, Dilshani. Exactly what I thought of. The idea coming from you is nice. Do the correction, right? Since it is the total thing is centered, this color line is not well composed. Put it in the bottom, then you will see that it is well composed. And with this Gothic mood, you can think of adding some more textures to describe it more in a mood board with the background. I mean, with some space in the background.
Okay, madam.
Yes, think of. You can try again and see with some textures and all. Okay, good.
Okay, madam, thank you.
Anyone else who want to share? No, right? Anyone else who want to confirm the pictures that you have selected? Any group?
Madam, we have more pictures.
Okay. If you want to share and confirm the pictures, I can comment.
Okay, sure, madam.
Yes, I get a spicy mood. What do you think? A little bit. Scroll down, Kishani. මේ number 10 එකේ තියෙන ඒ වර dumplings මොනවද නේද? ඒක ලංකාවේ කෑමක්ද? නෑ නෑ නේද?
නෑ.
හරි. ඕකේ. ඕගොල්ලෝ ශ්‍රී ලංකන් ගන්නවා නම් ස්පයිසි ගන්නවා නම් ඒ විදිහ mood එකකට යන්න. Now with these images, it's okay if you can give, since we are doing it individually now, it's okay if you go for your own ideas, right? කාට හරි ඒ කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකන් කියන එක drop කරන්න ඕනේ නම් එහෙම කරන්න, that's okay, right? Yes. Thing is that too much cultures. Otherwise, it's good. But you have some images that people cooking. අර ළමයෙක් ලිප ළඟ වාඩි වෙලා ඉන්න ඉමේජ් එකක් එහෙම තිබ්බනේ. Did you drop them?
නෑ madam, මේ ටික විතරයි select කරේ. ඒක තියෙනවා ඒ photos ටික.
හරි. එහෙනම් ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ වගේවත් ගන්න. මේ ටික ඔක්කොම එක වගේ. මේකෙන් එකක් ගන්න. මේ කියන්නේ මේ ටික ඔයගොල්ලෝ තව ફોકස් කරන්න ශ්‍රී ලංකන් ස්පයිසි, ශ්‍රී ලංකන් හෝ ඉන්දියන් වගේ ලුක් එකක්. එක ස්පයිසි කියන එක ගන්නවා නම් මේ විදිහේ ඉමේජස් ටිකක් එකට දාගන්න. ඊළඟට අර අපි අර සෙකන්ඩ් බෝඩ් එක හදද්දී එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එක, ඒකේ මූඩ් එක, අපි ඒ කියන්නේ ටෙක්නික්ස් ඩීටේල්ස් අපි තව දෙනකොට ඒකෙදී අර මේ මොනවද මිනිස්සු ඉන්න ඒ වගේ images ටිකකුත් එකතු කරගන්න.
හා මැඩම්.
ෆොටෝ ෂූට්ස් වගේ දැනෙන්නේ නැති විදිහේවත් එකතු කරගන්න ඒවත් හොඳයි. මේ පිට්ටු බම්බුවක් තියෙන එකකින් ලස්සනයි. It doesn't look like a photo.
හා මැඩම්.
ඒ කියන්නේ ෆොටෝ ෂූට් ප්‍රොඩක්ට් ෆොටෝ එකක් වගේ පේන්නේ නැහනේ. ඒ වගේ moods එකතු කරගන්න. Yeah, you can work with this. You have good images.
ඕකේ මැඩම්. ඕකේ මැඩම්.
Other groups you have? Do you have any? I think that Mirisa group had enough images. What is the other one? I want to check that Activewear group. Are you there? You can discuss and have one team and work forward, or with the images you can like what Dilshani has done. It's not the collective work of the whole group. I think everybody is not into this topic, but it's okay. It's her own interpretation. You can do that one as well. Activewear group, do you have the selection of images?
Madam,
Yes.
we have changed the topic to hiking.
Yes, good. Yes, good. Exercise is too, it's not focused, right? It's like the styles are very different from one another, right? Yes, hiking is a good thing. Yeah.
Then we selected
Okay. So if you don't have images to show me today, then I will expect, I'm expecting that you will do good work in the mood boards. Yeah, when it comes to hiking, Rikas, do you have any images to share with us? Or
yes,
shall I?
madam. I'm in mobile phone.
Yeah,
Can I
okay.
share?
I don't know whether you can share with the phone. Yes.
Shall I try?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Yes. This third one is good. The people hiking image. This girl's image is good with the backpack. This is not actually hiking. That I think it's a tripod.
Which one?
Yeah, that the girl carrying
Tripod.
tripod. Yeah, I don't know whether it's a tripod. I guess so. So it's kind of another thing, not hiking for fun. Okay, is that all?
Yes, madam.
Okay. From for this one, you need to collect more images with the experience, and where the clothing is expressed in the context. Do you get my point? Like the not just product shoot kind of things, like the photographs that you take when hiking. Can you discuss with the group and select more images?
Okay, madam.
Okay, select more images with the experience, and you can add the images of the sceneries, the mountains, the sky. Hiking is about those ones as well. So you can get the images of the hard routes, this nature trail thing, and then you can incorporate those images as well, right? Okay. Okay, good. I think that Viduranga's group enough images, right? You can work with that, right? Who else was there in that group? I can remember only. Okay, anyway. Okay, with those images, you can start creating mood boards, and you can discuss if you have any issues, and you can show me next time on Friday. Uh, if you have any, if you need any comments, and even if you need any comment during the week, send me a text. I will reply. Okay, then thank you all for joining. I will send you the images, then you can refer them and work on.